Morning guys, welcome back. I know it's been a while, so I thought whilst I'm having a charge, we should have a chat and an update on what the Kona's been like to live with for the last year. And first of all guys, let me apologise for the lack of content over the last few months. I know I said that once my missus got back from the Falklands, things would improve and we'd start seeing videos again. Although when she did get back, we realised that one of the properties we rent out had been well and truly trashed. So I've spent the last 4 months renovating that. So I apologise for that. But everything's all peachy now, it's on the market, so hopefully no more complications. So onto the running cost of the Kona for the year. Now, we needed this car to be absolutely bomb-proof. This is the only car we've got in the family. We do not have another car. So we needed the Hyundai brand to stand up for this whole 5-year warranty. Everything's peachy, let's fix it. Nothing has gone wrong with the car whatsoever. Everything literally clunks and clicks exactly how it did the day I bought the car. Can't fault it at all. Really pleased with the build quality of the car after 1 year and it's now 21,000 miles. So really pleased with that. The only two things it's been in for the garage for is the recalls that pretty much everyone else's has been in for. Went for the airbag software recall and also the battery management system distance to empty recall. I'm not quite sure what that did. I still get over 300 miles comfortably in the summer and around about 270, 280 in the winter. Bear in mind, I do live in the Highlands of Scotland at the moment and there aren't any motorways around here, so pretty much your limit on these A roads is no more than 60 mile an hour, and you'll be lucky if you can achieve that sometimes. So for the mileage I get out of the car, it's absolutely ample, even when we do travel down south. So onto the service. We have now had our second service at 20,007 miles at 11 months old for the Kona, which was carried out by Reed Hyundai in Lincoln. Now, I didn't take the car back to Arnold Clark in Inverness due to the reasons documented before with they didn't reset the service indicator and then wanted me to take the car back there, which would have been an 80-mile round trip for 5 minutes and absolutely nothing, plus the fact they couldn't supply me with an automatic courtesy car and they wanted the car for 5 hours or something silly for servicing the Kona, which was just mind-boggling to me. There's not a lot to do on it, especially for its first service. They're pretty much all visual checks. So as I said, the second service we took it to Reed Hyundai in Lincoln and they were smashing. Couldn't fault them enough. They could offer me an automatic courtesy car if I wanted it. I decided myself to stay and have a waiting appointment, which took just over 2 hours to complete the service on the car and wash and vac it. No issues whatsoever. So we will be taking the car back to Reed Hyundai in Lincoln in the future. The only slight niggle I found was they unplugged my dash cam. I understand why they unplugged my dash cam, there's no issues with that. I just wish they'd plugged it back in. Now my dash cam's hardwired in and it's hidden under the mirror, so I can't see it flashing or anything like that when I'm normally driving. So it wasn't until I was halfway back to Scotland and I tried to take a photo of some Nana and his driving habits all the way up the M74 to find out that my dash cam wasn't even plugged in. So that was the only kind of niggle. I just wish they'd plugged it back in, but apart from that, everything else was fine. Like I said, waiting appointment was peachy. They could offer me an automatic courtesy car, which I believe was going to be an Ionic, so absolute no issues with that at all. They sent me the video of the checks, like you get the health check video that you get from all Hyundai garages, which actually shocked me. Apparently there is 5% wear on my brake pads, and also 5mm of tread left on the front tyres and 6mm of tread left on the rear tyres. Now these are still the same Nexus tyres that came on the Hyundai, so they've now travelled 20,000 miles, or over 20,000 miles now, but they still have plenty of tread apparently on them for a good 10-15,000 miles, so I was pleasantly surprised at that. So onto the service themselves. The bits they replaced was they did the cabin filter in the 20,000 mile or second year service, whichever it is. They replaced the brake fluid, and again it's just a washer top up. So, but like I say, I was more than happy. Apart from the little niggle with a dash cam, I was more than happy with the service that I was given from Reed Hyundai, and like I said, I will be taking the car there in future. So onto the running costs of the car for the whole year. Like I said, the car's been absolutely bomb-proof, not been back to the garage apart from recalls, which are free that everyone's had, and just the services. It's not returned for anything broken. Everything still works as it does when I bought the car. So I've wrote them all down here, so we'll go through them. So my first 10k service done by Arnold Clark in Inverness was £79.80, which we've already established the car will never go back to Arnold Clark in Inverness. My second service done by Reed Hyundai in Lincoln, couldn't recommend them anymore. Really pleased. That was £158.17 for that. And then onto the charging that we've had on the car. I've spent £16 with Ionity going up and down at Gretna. Cracking speeds on that. I have been seeing 73 kilowatts, so well worth using, especially at the moment as it's fill your boots for £8. And when I get there, it's normally that is my first stop on the way down to Lincoln. So after 250 miles, I am needing pretty much to fill my boots. Charge Place Scotland and Charge Your Car, I've spent £15.20. Polar, I've spent £9.15. And Instavolt, I've spent £32.18. The one you'll notice isn't there is the electric highway. The reason for this is when I first got the car, I tried 7 or 8 different chargers, could not get one of them working. Then they came out saying there was an issue with the software, and there was a CCS fix, which evidently didn't happen and didn't work. So I have point blank refused to use the electric highway at all. To be honest, it's not really a massive issue when I'm going down south, especially with now Gretna being open. I stop there, charge to 85%, 90%, and then it's just straight through. It is the one stop for the 480 miles now to Lincoln, which is great news for me at the moment. But yeah, at home I've also spent £75.73 on electric, which I find out from my PodPoint app. I've added my charger to the PodPoint app, so it gives you a month by month recall of what you've used, what you haven't at the bottom. To give you guys an idea, that was 567 kilowatt hours. I've given that figure because I don't have the ability to have a dual tariff. Mine's a one set price at just over 13 pence, and it kind of is what it is. I can't do anything about that. So for the whole car to keep on the roads for me for 1 year has cost me £386.23, which is, well, yeah, it's cracking. I can't really fault that. It's a surprise for me, bearing in mind for my dad, for instance, for him to have one service on his car. Now he's not driving anything like BMW Merc, he drives a Honda. So for him to have one service on his Honda is more than £386. So I just can't fault the car whatsoever. The car is absolutely bomb-proof. Hopefully it stays that way and we have no issues whatsoever. So if you've enjoyed this video and the details we've had, or you've got any questions at all, please feel free to write in the comments below, and please feel free to like, share and subscribe this video. And I will see you again soon with more updates, and also a nice little surprise with a very long road trip. And I don't mean like a little road trip, I mean over 1,000 miles through 5 countries road trip. Take care.